So in the context of evidence-based management in particular, what are the 4 areas you might look at? Well, the first is the scientific research findings, what's out there, what do we already know that's out there in literature. The second is your own experience and judgment. As a professional practitioner in management or any field, you are supposed to use your experience. That's partly what you're being trained and what you're being paid for. You don't ignore it, you don't switch your brain off to make decisions, you're supposed to use your experience. Also organisational data, facts and figures, and also stakeholders' values and concerns. So the idea is you collect data information from those 4 sources to make a decision. Just to give you an example, this is if you were interested in managing absence in your organisation, you felt there's a problem with high absence in some way, this is the way you'd start to make decisions. So you first look at your own experience. Have I seen this before? What do I think is going on? What do I believe the cause is? Now you could say, well, what's the point? What does it matter what I think? Well, it matters what you think for 2 reasons. One, because your experience might be really good and really valid and really helpful. It also matters because if you believe strongly that something is a major cause of absence, that's likely to really strongly influence and bias the way you look at both the problem and the solution. So exposing that, bringing it out, making it explicit is a very important part of this. So the first area is your experience. The second is the local context. What's going on? What is the absence rate? Is it are there a few really, really long-term absences? Are there lots of little absences? Is it in particular places? Is it connected to days of the week or something else? What is actually going on with the data you've got? The third is the critical evaluation of the best available research evidence. For example, what do you know about the absence levels in your sector, in your area of the world? What do we know about the kind of norms? What does systematically reviewed evidence say are the major causes of absence or the major interventions that might reduce absence? That's the third area. And the fourth is who's going to be affected by this? What do they think? So you may go through those first 3 areas and find out that the best intervention seems to be return to work interviews. So if people are absent for say more than 2 days, you ask their line manager to interview them about, what's going on, how are you, how's it going? You may go and talk to all the managers and you may find out pretty quickly they're not going to do that. If you were a line manager, why might you not want to do return to work interviews every time someone's absent for 2 days or more? So what I'm trying to emphasise is that all these areas are important, potentially really important sources of evidence. And any definition of evidence-based practice that ignores one of these is not actually, as far as we're concerned, in the Centre for Evidence-Based Management, is not actually an accurate definition of what evidence-based practice means. Now, typically when people look at this, they find it a bit kind of exhausting. Oh my God, have I got to do all that every time I make a decision? Well, yeah, but you can do that in 10 minutes. Now, you may go through that thing in 10 minutes and go, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But then you know you don't know. And you make a decision knowing you don't know, as opposed to pretending you do know. So at least you know what you know and don't know before you make a decision. That's kind of, again, an essential part of it.